Hey guys, it's Catherine here, and today is February 5th, so I am making another, I've forgotten the word, um, Valentine's. I'm making another Valentine's Day charm, and today I am making a charm for my aunt, and I had to think about what I wanted to do for a gift for her, but I decided on doing a uh, a replica of her birthstone, which is the emerald. So I've got some translucent clay that I have mixed with a very small amount of green and an even tinier amount of blue. And I've got this sort of pastel color going on, which in itself is not bad, but it's not very emerald. And I really hope it turns darker in the oven, and I think it will. The translucent should go translucent in the oven and reveal more of the green and blue color. So to that end, I've got this ball of clay that I have rolled into a ball and then pressed flat, as you just saw me do. So now I am going to cut it to the size that I want, and I'm going to use the same things I always use to measure, popsicle sticks. And this I want to be 2 popsicle sticks wide all the way around, so that it's 4 total? No, so that it's square. There we go. That's the word I was looking for, so that it is square. So I'll take that and lay them on, and then grab my craft knife and try not to let the popsicle sticks wiggle around too much, and cut off one side, and then keeping it lined up, cut off the other side. And I've got 2 straight edges now. And then I'm going to turn it and do the same thing for the opposite direction. Lay the 2 popsicle sticks side by side, and then cut it in one way, and then keeping them in fairly the same place, cut it in the other way, so that I should, in theory, see? And I did end up with a square. So I've got a square there, and I've got bits of extra clay left over, because you always do. And then what I want to do is give it facets, because I would like it to be an emerald. And emeralds, as my aunt says, are usually either square or rectangular, and this one's going to end up being square. But I don't want the top facet to be half the width. I want it to be a little bit more than that. So I'll take 1 popsicle stick that way, and actually, no, that's not gonna work. Let's see how we're gonna do this. Set it to this side, maybe. I'm not sure I can get that centered enough. Well, centered enough to my satisfaction anyway. All right, and then just very lightly score, and very lightly score. There we go. Yeah, so it's wider than a popsicle stick, but only like a popsicle stick and a quarter, because the width of a popsicle stick front to back is 1/4 of the width of a popsicle stick side to side. And I found that out just by holding 4 popsicle sticks up to 1. Just fairly easy thing to do. All right, and then in place, and then just lightly score, and lightly score, and that'll give you the start of our facets. Then it's going to want to be cut at an angle this way, just straight down to the bottom edge, if we can, and the opposite side as well. And each of the corners at that angle. so that we take them off entirely. And then, and I'm not sure my knife is long enough for this. Ooh, only just. So then we're going to take our square side and cut them down at the same angle to the bottom. There we go. There we are. And there we go. And then that, if we can lift it up without ruining it, which is sometimes, if you've been watching these videos, you'll know, a challenge for me. There we go. And that is the beginnings of an emerald. I'm going to smooth that top down a little bit. I think I'll just use the back of my craft knife for that. Go. And there, and there. Okay. And then I want to make a setting for it. That one lost its angle. And this one's not angled enough now. I'm going to keep messing with this, aren't I? I know I will. If I don't stop fiddling with it, I'll never stop fiddling with it. And that's kind of what art is, isn't it? Just constantly fiddling with things and just keeping on fiddling with them until you get bored and move on to something else, really. Okay. Now I really do have to stop cutting on that though. So that gives me 2 popsicle sticks wide by 2 popsicle sticks wide by 1 1/4 on the top each way. And that's the gem. And now I want to do a backing for it. And for the backing, there we go. I've got a picture I want to reference. There we go. Okay, so for the backing, I want to start off doing something that is the same width as the top of the gem, so 1 1/4. So let me go start way out here at the edge, and 1 1/4 is go. And I'm doing black because I don't actually have any metallic Sculpey. I haven't invested in any, which works for me well because it actually means that I get creative and different solutions to things that would normally be metallic. So my pieces are unique and different from things that you would see otherwise. But there we go, that gives us, and I just did roll this out to one popsicle stick width front to back before I started, because it's nice to have things prepped in advance just to save a little bit of time. And then this is going to want to square up on one side. Go, come on you. And then I want to reference back my picture again to see how wide I'm going to want that. Go, not too wide, I don't think. Okay, so like that, I think. Like that wide. So there. And I'll center that on it once I've figured it out. There we go. So I've got that cut, and then I'll center it, and then I want another piece to abut to this one right in the middle there. Go, and then I'll just put a little bit of pressure on to stick them together. Try and keep it as square as possible. And then put my gem back on. My little Sculpey gem. And cut it to that length. and move it around to the other side and take it back off and press it against it again so that it just joins up, and then drop it back on and cut it there. So that's going to give us a foundation for our setting. Go. And then the next thing that I want to do is some squares that are, I think, so like a half a popsicle stick that's two together by a half. Go. And then I'm just going to eyeball this other one, this other side. Go. And that gives me 2 squares and a third square if I can manage it. And then I'll need one more, which I'll just take from right there. Okay, and then, oh, don't be stuck down. There we go. Lift that off. Place these right in the corner. Come on, you. Go. Just right in the corner of each one. And there we are. And then I do want another strip of the black that is 2 popsicle sticks front to back. And this is going to go right like that, and then it's going to come, oh, that needs to be just a tiny bit thinner. It's not going to fit otherwise. There we go, just a hair's breadth thinner on both sides, I think. Just to make everything work. So let's try the opposite direction sometimes. If it won't fit one way, it'll fit the other. There we go. And you just crush it a little bit and everything works. And there. And then the opposite way. And stand it back up. And in the middle here. So that this setting really has some dimensions to it. There we go. It's got 2 different levels, and then gonna give this setting just a little bit of texture. So I will use a toothpick for that, and I'm just going to take and run the toothpick straight down each of these to add some lines. I think 3 on each one ought to do it. There we go. If I can get it cleanly all the way to the end, that would be even better. And then, because that got pressed down, I want it to stand back up again. I want them to be straight outward. So, and then since I'm doing 3 lines, I can put one down the middle and then one to either side of it. And then neaten up the end. And then the other direction, same thing, one down the middle, and then one to either side. And then again over here, one down the middle and one to either side. Did you notice how cool I was right there, you guys? I switched to my left hand from my right hand and you didn't even notice. And I got those lines practically even straight. And then I want to put a little bit of an edge on each of these, so just tuck it right like that, just to give another level to it. Go. To each of these. There we are. And final one of that. Ooh, don't want to pull it out that direction. So it's got a bit more interest that way. And then let's pop this right on the top here and make sure that it's not covering anything all the way. That one needs to be yeah, I want to make those a little bit shorter. And I do actually, I want to bend them down. I want them to curve downward to the next layer down. So I will do that. Cut it and curve it. And cut it and curve it. And cut and curve. And there we have it. One emerald gem set in a black base, black fixture. And actually I'm going to repeat that other, the edge I did on the corner squares, but on these ones and with my X-Acto knife so that I get a good, like, distinct line on this one rather than a sort of beveled edge. Go. And then the only thing left is to add an eye pin to it because it is going to be a charm. So as soon as I finish these marks, oop, that one went a little far. That's okay. And last two. There we go. All right, and then add an eye pin. And I think here is going to be the best place for it. There we go. And check the back to make sure that I didn't come through. And I didn't. Awesome. But that back's a little plain. Let's see if I can't do something about that. What would it be best? Like just a little bit of texture or something maybe? Thinking about it. Well, actually, no. It's the back. Go. There we go. Well, there we have it. One emerald gem set in a fixture. That's what I did today. Let me know what you guys did today. Let me know if you're doing anything special for Valentine's Day, because I'd love to hear about it. And tell me what you think.